Hello and welcome to Healing From Within. I hope that you've started this year off right by really working on yourself from the inside out and working on moving forward in life and manifesting amazing, abundant things in your life. Working on depression and brokenness and heartache and hurt and anything which is making you feel stuck in life and you're moving forward. So if you haven't already, I ask you to subscribe to my channel and come on this journey with me. As you know, I'm very, very passionate about sharing with you all the things that worked for me personally to help to heal from deep within, heal from brokenness and depression and heartache and past trauma. So anyone you know which is struggling with depression, please share with them my channel so that I can reach them and help them too. And so today I want to share with you something that's really been impressing on my heart that I need to talk about and share with you. Maybe there's a few people out there or many people out there who really need to hear this, because it's really been on my mind that I need to be transparent on this whole videos. I've been transparent with you and sharing with you my journey of how I got there to the place of having a total mental breakdown and being terribly depressed, and just sharing with you the journey that I've been on so that I can help you to heal from deep within. So today I wanted to share with you, that I am a preacher's daughter and I was a preacher's wife for almost 20 years. And I lived with a lot of brainwashing, a lot of negative beliefs about love, life, and universe and God. And I really put a lot of pressure on myself all the way through because I really thought that that if I stepped out of line that God would leave me and I would go to hell. I don't know where all that belief came from, and I'm not even saying that God, church, Bible is saying this. It was me. I took everything so literal, and also, it was kind of environment I was in because I listened to every word that anyone ever said, because I always believed that if someone spoke the word of God, if somebody was up on the pulpit or someone was in leadership, that meant that they was called by God, not realizing that actually anybody could be up there preaching. It could be a mass murderer who decides to get up there preaching, and so for me, I took everything that I was being told literal, and I was always had it drilled into me, that in the meetings that I went to, that if we grieved God, we grieved the Holy Spirit, He would leave. So I used to think that if a swear word came on, like cursing came on TV, that God would leave. So I was always trying to be careful of what I watched. If a sex scene came on TV, that He would leave. So I lived with that. I lived with that pressure all the time of trying to be perfect, but obviously never was, but always trying. And through teenage years, obviously I went through adolescence and I wasn't always perfect and I did things I shouldn't and I tried things, but I tried my hardest to be perfect. So I never really went through that stage that everyone says, oh, pastors' kids are the worst, especially pastors' daughters. No, that wasn't me, because I actually lived with this struggling to feel like I was good enough, that I was perfect enough. So I didn't go through that drinking, partying phase or anything like that. And always felt like I had to try my best to be the best. And I fell for schemes and I fell for things which wasn't good idea to do, but I always was trying. And when I was a teenager, I got engaged like most of the girls in my youth group, and I got married in my teens, and we went through this little class with one of the leaders who was teaching us about how we're supposed to be as a wife, a godly wife. So we're supposed to be like this godly wife. We're now his helpmate. Now he's the head of the home and the head of the church, and everything we do now, we submit to him because he's our head, he's over us, he's our covering. And we was taught to actually everything we wanted to do, all our dreams and desires are now put to the back burner because he's the head of the church, he's the head of the home, and he's leading us and guiding us, and we're to be his sidekick. And so when I got entered into marriage now, everything I ever wanted in life was all on the back burner. And all my heart's desires of being a wife, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And nobody spoke about that if it's not what you feel marriage should be, or if you feel like you're not loved or supported, it was all now, it was about him. And so I, again, just listened to what I was told and went with it. And so now I had to be this godly wife, and he went into the ministry too. So I now was his sidekick in everything he did. And I worked alongside him in the church. And I'm not saying that I didn't love serving and helping people. My heart has always been like that, wanting to help people. So I got involved in mission work and homeless work and charities and outreaches. And I did a mother and toddler, and helping young mothers and helping women who were struggling. And if there was a young person who was struggling with drugs or alcohol or in an abusive relationship, I would get alongside them and work with them daily and help them. And so I loved that part of things, because I love working with people and helping people. But all my dreams, all my goals had been put aside. And throughout my married life, I was always made to feel like a nobody, nothing special. I was always put down and compared to other people, compared to other women. And I started to get this really low self-image, low self-esteem. I've talked to you about the fact that the low self-esteem had set in so much that I used to look in the mirror, and as I'm putting my makeup on, it'd be tears rolling down my face and it all smudged. I have to start again. And always I could only see the imperfections. I would look in the mirror and pull myself apart. It's funny because you see pictures of yourself when you was like young, in your 20s or whatever, and I see pictures and I'm like, why did I hate myself so much? Actually, I look quite nice, but it was inward. I started to feel so broken and so like a nothing, because I was treated like that, and I allowed that, because I gave him this power of having this over me, because I was told that that's what it meant to be a wife, a good godly wife, being his sidekick. And so over the years, my marriage got worse and worse and worse, and it got very abusive with the name calling and the anger and the shouting, and there was violence started in the home. And I didn't think that I had a choice in this. I had to live with it, and the depression started setting in. And I've talked to you about the journey of what led me to the mental breakdown. And I lost my mother, who was my best friend, and that really left a big hole in my heart. And we moved thousands of miles away from the rest of my family and from all my friends. And my husband was still in the ministry, still working for the church full time, and I was still a sidekick. But then it all the abuse got worse, and the anger got worse, and then it all came tumbling out that he'd been on singles websites for years and years, and a lot of infidelity, a lot of cheating had gone off. And at that point, I snapped. I had a mental breakdown. I snapped. My cup had overflowed. I couldn't take it anymore, and I felt myself so depressed. But it had been years and years of allowing this brainwashing, allowing this manipulation and control. And I'm not blaming anybody else. You can't blame religion, you can't blame Christianity, you can't blame God, you can't blame the church, can't blame people, because I believe that actually the church is supposed to be a place of refuge for people, a place where you go and you find comfort and love and support. But in my case, that wasn't the case. And I know when I hit rock bottom and I was very depressed, actually all the Christians around me kept saying, tell yourself you're a child of God. You got to snap out of it. You can't be depressed. You're a child of God. People can't see you as depressed because you're in the ministry. And actually that made me worse. And I felt like I was in sin all the time. I felt like my whole life was in sin. I was in sin for being depressed. I was in sin for actually wishing that I could be out of the marriage that was abusive, but I couldn't. and wishing that life was different, you know. I felt like I couldn't measure up. I wasn't perfect enough. And I tried so hard. I tried so hard to be this perfect mother. And even though I can't say that I didn't love my children being young, because I just put myself into that. I just loved when they was young, but I put on so much pressure on myself to be this perfect mum. I was involved in everything they did. I made sure that I mapped out every day when they was little, and made sure that it was full of adventure and fun and love and joy, and learning and outings, and just having a good time, you know. And I let them be in all the sports they wanted to be in. I was a chauffeur, and I was just trying to be the best I could be, but I always felt like I wasn't measuring up. And actually, probably that was my biggest downfall, because that was probably where I failed, is trying to be the best. I didn't measure up. Trying so hard is where probably was my biggest downfall. And I don't regret my journey, because my journey brought me to where I am today. And actually, you have to just learn from your journey, learn from all the things you go through, all the mistakes you make. Are they mistakes, or are they just part of the journey, you know? So I've had to draw a line in the sand and start again, but it wasn't until I had a complete mental breakdown and found myself so alone, because actually everything came spilling out. And you know, all the truths come spilling out, you know, about the infidelity, you know, all the horrible things that had gone off. And then everything became very public, because it is when you're in the church. And I found myself left so alone, because actually the people in the church, they was more interested, oh, my preacher sinned and he let us down, but nobody was there for the wife and the children. Nobody reached out to the children and helped them through this horrible time. In fact, we was all alone, you know, for a long time. We was completely alone. And actually, after he left, we then went homeless, me and the children, for a while. We couldn't get a place, so we ended up like where they found us, a place for 2 beds in the end. But with 2 beds for 4 of us for 6 months we stayed. But actually, the day they found that place for us, we had all of our belongings on the lawn with nowhere to go. Just literally, we had to get it all out. We had everything on a lawn, just me and my children, and they was young, and we had nowhere to go, and I didn't know who to call for help. And it was at that point I just think I lost it in my brain. I lost it all, like, you know, even the thought of all my belief system about everything. And I think it was at that point when I decided that I could start again, when all of my belief systems had gone, when I stopped believing in anything, you know. I started again. And I'm not saying I threw everything out. I didn't throw out all of my beliefs. I still believe in certain things. But I was able to rebuild my thoughts once I'd lost it all, if you get what I'm saying. And so it took for me to actually lose everything and lose the capacity to want to live. I hit rock bottom. Something inside snapped, where I was just so depressed and broken. But you know what? At that point, I've shared with you all the different little things that came into my life to bring glimpses of hope, and to lead me back down different paths, and to lead me to the healing and the healed person I am today. And still working on it, still actually come up all the time with things, oh, that's an old belief, I don't want that in my life, and deal with it. But you know what? It took for me to let it all go, all my belief system go, to rebuild it. And as I've been rebuilding, I realized that actually I shouldn't have listened to anybody who spoke, anybody who decided to open a Bible and read it, anybody who was on a pulpit and told me how to live. You know, I should have listened to my own inner voice, my own inner spirit, because you know what? We all come from God's universe and we will all go back to it. But in that time, in the meantime, that short period of time that we are alive on this earth, we are supposed to live our own life. It's your life to live it to the full and to live an amazing, abundant life, the best life you can possibly live. But we get full of these traumas and these horrible things because of decisions we make. Not always. Sometimes other people put things on us. Believe me, I've gone through that too with horrible abusive situations and abuse what's happened where others have put things upon me, you know, in childhood. I couldn't help. But for the majority, sometimes we choose things in life. Like I chose to listen to what I was being told in the church. I chose to allow a man to treat me bad by listening to that I had to be this godly wife and do what he said. You know, I chose a lot of these things, and then other times other things happen. But I realized that our life we're supposed to choose for ourselves. You know, if you're stuck in a job that you hate, that brings you misery every day, why? Why not get a job that you like? That brings you joy every day. Like, who said you have to stay in a job you hate? Who says you have to stay in a relationship that brings you misery? Like, this is our journey. And whilst we're on the earth, we're supposed to make it the best. We're supposed to manifest amazing things. So I'm not telling you that I've stopped all belief in half of these things that I believed in before. I actually started again with my belief system. So I follow a Christian lady called Dr. Caroline Leaf, who's a neuroscientist. I follow her teachings on the brain, the mind-brain connection, but she happens to be a Christian speaker too. And so I didn't like say, oh, I'm not going to listen to her because she's a Christian. I listened to her, and her teachings are amazing, and I applied her methods to my life to do the brain detox and to really try and rewire my brain to heal it from negativity and negative patterns, you know. And I follow somebody called Master Shri Krishna, who speaks on the law of attraction, who speaks on meditation and manifesting amazing, abundant things into your life and aligning yourself up with what you want to manifest. And you know, he went on a journey himself where he was at rock bottom and found himself going to a place where actually he didn't want to live, but then found his purpose in life, his charity work, and went to the Himalayan mountains to go on a spiritual journey, spiritual pilgrimage, and found his purpose, and has an amazing charity in Kenya to children and an orphanage, you know, with a school. So you know what, I follow his teachings too, and I follow him every day, and I apply his methods to my life because I try the methods and I put them to the test. I don't just now listen to anything, and I listen to some amazing teachers who are teaching on just amazing ways of living and manifesting amazing things in your life, and just inspirational teachers like Mel Robbins, Lewis Howes, Jay Shetty, different people who have just some amazing inspiration to give you for the day to have an amazing, abundant life. And as I followed these teachings, I start my day off every single morning, and I end my day every day with putting positivity in my mind, picturing the things I want to manifest, speaking out the things I'm grateful for, speaking out affirmations over my life, listening to some affirmations spoken with some amazing meditation music, you know, just different ways of living, and been open to new ways and new ideas, because I thought everything was a sin. Everything I thought, like meditation was a sin. I thought yoga was a sin. I thought manifestations was a sin. Law of attraction was a sin. Anyone's teaching, unless they just said they was a Christian, they might not even be a Christian really. But if they said they was a Christian, or they said there was a preacher, I could only listen to them. Anyone else? No. Anyone else's way? No. It was kind of arrogant really, but that's what I thought, you see, because I listened to what I was taught, and I went that way. And so I guess I wanted to share with you, if you're stuck in a way of thinking, if you're stuck in a religion or anyone else telling you the way you've got to live, anyone else putting upon their stuff, but it's not bringing happiness, it's not bringing joy, and it's bringing such anxiety to your life, then stop and ask yourself, is what you're doing bringing joy and leading you to an amazing, abundant life? Or is it bringing depression and anxiety? I just wanted to challenge you with that. I, as a preacher's wife, I, as a preacher's daughter, was stuck in this way of thinking and feeling like a nothing all the time, and feeling like I had to be perfect, and feeling like I was never good enough, and also allowing bad behavior from the person I was in a relationship with, allowing myself to come under somebody who wasn't treating me right, who actually was cheating and being aggressive and abusive in so many ways, and I allow myself to live in that just because I was so brainwashed that I had to. And so I want to encourage you, take control of your own life. Take control and take back your power and do what makes you feel good, and go on this journey of healing. If you need to heal past traumas, then I'm telling you, this EFT is brilliant. Just this tapping solution. I know it sounds weird, but sometimes if you're struggling to do it alone, if you're struggling to rewire your brain alone and to heal past trauma alone and move forward, then do that. Whatever it takes, whatever works for you, Listen, I love listening to Master Sri Kashner. I listen to a little video of his every single morning. I always get an inspiration, and it always seems like it's speaking directly to me. It's at the stage that I'm at right now, but I've had to go on this journey. I had to start this journey somewhere, and it took for me to lose everything and to go rock bottom, to start reinventing myself and living again. And if you go back through my videos, you will see how a doctor helped me to reinvent myself. The doctor gave me this ultimatum and pretty much made me go to college to learn something new. How somebody came to me and spoke to me and just said, your mom sent me to you, because I'd been sitting on a grave for hours crying, please heal me, please help me, please help me. And someone came to me and said, your mom sent me. And I'd never met her before, and that was a massive turning point in my life, because I started spending time with that person who really taught me and showed me the way to heal, showed me this journey that I'm on today. And so lots of things started to happen in my life, but I had to get open to actually hearing these things. But I wouldn't have been open if I didn't lose everything first. So I think that maybe that had to happen, which I wish it didn't, because I know that that obviously wasn't good for my children, for me to be rock bottom and broken for a while and very depressed. And I would like to erase that and heal them from that. But I want to be an inspiration to show them that actually you can move forward. If life does fall apart, you can move forward and can heal. So you know what, this is my inspiration I wanted to give you today. I wanted to challenge you to, if you are stuck like me in depression, or stuck like I was in a mindset and religious mind, or in a relationship which is bad, or in a job which is bad, anything which is not bringing you healing and enhancing your life and making you love life, then do something about it and change it, and come on this journey with me and go back through my videos and do all the steps that I've done to heal. Do the brain detox, follow these amazing teachers, do the EFT, the emotional freedom technique. I love in the mornings to go for walks in nature. I went this morning and watched the sunrise at the beach, and I'm telling you, oh wow, I start my day off with watching this beautiful sunrise. How can you not start the day off brilliant when you see that? And you see that painting in the sky, you see that, and you're breathing in the fresh air, and it starts your day off with this amazing journey. And so I love to do that because it helps me to see the world with this positive light, because you know, when you're stuck in that negativity all the time, it's hard to start the day off great. But when you start the day off great, then great things start to happen. And so that's my inspiration for you today. So please come on this journey with me. Please share with me any techniques that work for you. Please share with me your journey and your story, you know, and I hope I've been an inspiration to you. And if I have, please give me a thumbs up, and please share with anyone you know who might benefit from my channel, just so that I can help be an inspiration to them too. And so until next time, I will see you soon, and I hope that this has helped today. See you soon. God bless you. Have an amazing day.